The airline industry is a brutal business to get into, with many fixed and varying costs, as well as unknown factors such as weather or government regulations. After publishing a video of how Malaysia's government is contemplating the future of Malaysia Airlines, another airline that is seeing some government and business interaction is that of the South Korean carrier of Asiana, the Seoul-based Star Alliance member airline and the second largest airline of South Korea. Heavily in debt, Asiana has recently been involved in an accounting scandal which has led to the departure of its co-CEO and the decision of the Kumho Asiana Group, the parent company of the airline, to sell the flagship property, which is that of the airline. Now, before proceeding to discuss the current situation at Asiana Airlines, I would like to thank you, the subscribers and the viewers, who have liked, comment, and subscribed to the channel. The Asia-Pacific region is one of the fastest growing aviation markets in the world, and this channel intends to highlight the updates and insights from the region in terms of the aviation industry. So hopefully you find the content interesting, and you're more than welcome to engage to the comments section. Asiana Airlines has been one of the most prominent airlines of Asia since its founding in 1988 as part of the Kumho Group, one of the major chaebols or the Korean major business conglomerates, and the company currently owns around 33% or 1/3 of the airline. This year has been a very turbulent year for the airline as well as the Kumho Group, with the flagship Asiana Airlines having a reported debt of around 3 trillion Korean won. The leadership of Asiana has been looking for ways to restructure the airline and turn around its financial state. However, things took a turn for the worse and embroiled the airline in a major scandal after the airline's external auditor refused to sign off on its accounting reports for the year 2018, this past March. This led to the suspension of the trade of the airline's shares at Korea Stock Exchange, and creditors were beginning to intensely scrutinize Asiana's finances. Within a few weeks, a revised audit was released and showed the airline was in a much more dire financial situation. In 2018, Asiana reported a record high 7.1 trillion won in sales. This was overshadowed by an operating profit which came to around 28.2 billion won, with a net loss of around 195.9 billion won. With a loss of trust on the airline from creditors, the controversy surrounding the audit led to the resignation of the Asiana co-CEO and the chairman of the Kumho Asiana Group, Park Sam-koo. Prior to his resignation, Asiana has been in talks with Korea's state-run Korea Development Bank, which is also taking the role as the lead creditor for the airline in the state. The Korea Development Bank, along with its creditors, has agreed to provide Asiana around 1.6 trillion Korean won as part of a recovery package, with some conditions. These conditions include Asiana taking the necessary steps to turn around the financial state of the airline, which would then lead to the sale of the airline within 3 years. In the aftermath and even prior to the scandal, Asiana has made some noticeable changes in its services. Among these moves have included the termination of underperforming routes such as those to Chicago, Delhi in India, and Salchin and Khabarovsk in Russia. Asiana has also been reported that starting this September, the airline will stop selling its first-class products and rebrand them as business suites. The airline is also looking to cut costs in its operations and staff, with the airline offering voluntary retirement for select employees with tenure in the company. As the Kumho Asiana Group looks to sell the airline, it will heavily affect the Korean business landscape, as by Korean law, the Kumho Group can only sell the airline to a domestic company. The reports of the prospective buyers is a who's who of Korea's chaebols. Such a sale would also involve the question as to what to do with Asiana's other aviation-related properties. While facing intense competition from South Korea's low-cost carriers, Asiana has 100% ownership of budget airline Air Seoul and a majority 44% stake in Air Busan. We could see the sale of Asiana to include these airlines, or Air Seoul and Air Busan would be sold separately. The restructuring and the potential sale within the next 3 years of Asiana could heavily affect the current new orders that the airline will be receiving in the years to come. The airline is expecting orders to be delivered including over 40 Airbus aircraft, including the A321neo and the Airbus A350. While it's getting more fuel-efficient aircraft, we could see Asiana retire or sell its Airbus A380s and older Boeing 767 and 747 aircraft. What are your thoughts on the current situation of Asiana, especially what could be done to turn around the airline's financial situation? Thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.